Good morning, my gorgeous plants. How's everybody doing today? A little thirsty, pining for some light because it's cloudy outside. You want to be rehomed? We can do that. One more thing. Am I wearing the Jacquemus pants? Yeah, I am. They're ill-fitting and I need to get them tailored, but thank you for noticing. Alright everybody, so let me just talk about staghorn ferns quickly. I have been obsessed with them for years. This obsession began when I saw one on YouTube sometime in 2018, and then I went to go interview at a hair salon to be a receptionist. I did not get that job, but they had a staghorn fern hanging on the wall, and I literally thought it was so cool. It took me 2 full years to find staghorn ferns because whenever I would Google them, they were always like $40 or pretty expensive, and I was like, I'm not that dedicated and I'm afraid I'm gonna kill it. The end of August, I was at the Union Square Farmers Market and one of the weekly plant stands had staghorn ferns and I just about jumped out of my skin. So this is the first one that I got. This is a Platycerium veitchii. It comes from Queensland, Australia. Well, I think this was grown in a nursery, but that's where they're native to. They are pretty drought tolerant. They're used to like an arid climate that doesn't rain too often. When I did my research, I was like, okay, cool, but this is actually not the staghorn fern that I had in mind. 2 weeks later, I went back and I found this staghorn fern. This is a Platycerium bifurcatum. They're native to more tropical regions. Actually, I don't remember what part of the world. So let me Google that. Ooh, look at all of this, this green color palette that we have here. Platycerium bifurcatum, native to Java, New Guinea, and Eastern Australia. So still that same part of the world. You know, I was actually Googling Java yesterday. Java is an island in Indonesia, and it is home to the city of Jakarta. Anyway, so yeah, the Platycerium bifurcatum likes it wetter and more humid than the Platycerium veitchii. So I got both of them, and while I was doing the research into where they were from, so since this guy comes from the desert, they're used to attaching themselves to rocks or like sides of houses or barns, I read. So I was like, okay, that's interesting. And I knew that this one was more of a jungle thing. So my original concept and my original desire was to mount them on like a wooden round. So I went to the plant district, this is like 2 months ago at this point, and I got this. I don't know, I just realized it wasn't really what I wanted. So I'm using one of them on the plant stand over there. I have one of them which I've mounted my air plants on, which, hold on. So here's a small round with my air plants. They're both Tillandsia. This is Tillandsia bulbosa. I forget what this one is. And this is the first time I've ever had luck with air plants. So every time I've gotten them, they just dry out. Because I always read you only water them once a week, and that's it. So what I did this time, which is inspired by the staghorn fern mounting, is I affixed some nails to this, wrapped around some twine, and this is sphagnum moss. And it's been 2 months now, and these guys are still green. I missed those ones multiple times a week, and the important thing is that the base of them is inside the moist moss at all times. This Tillandsia bulbosa, I rested in here. I thought, oh, there's moss in here, it'll be dry enough. Nope, so it was just resting on the top, and after a week, this one dried out. Also, the air plant that is in my gecko's tank, I missed that tank at least twice a day. And it is still thriving, so I don't know, maybe I just was mistaken with what I heard about air plants in the past, but you have to keep them moist. Anyways, my inspiration was the arid desert environment where this one comes from, so it is actually mounted on 2 pieces of scoria, which is a volcanic rock. It's full of all of these holes called vesicles, so it allows for dryness, but also some of the moisture is kept in with this sphagnum moss that I have coated around the outside. So that's how this one's mounted, and it's been 2 months and it's still alive. I really wanted to make this video, but I was scared to do it because I was like, oh, what if I make this video after a couple days and then my fern dies? So it's been 2 months, I think I'm doing something right. Since this one comes from like more jungle regions, I thought, oh, this would be so cool. What if I put it in cork bark? Because I'm obsessed with this cork bark. I have it in my tarantula's cage, I have it in my gecko's cage, I have it in my cockroach enclosures. So that's what I did for this one, and that is what we're gonna do for this little guy today. I love how this one looks. To me, this one looks like, you know when you get those floating coconuts that come on a beach and they're sprouted, which I think is so cool, but this one I am like literally in love with. So we're gonna mimic this style of mounting for this small platycerium vite sheet, again, similar to this one, but I don't have any more scoria, and I just like how this one looks better. This is not the same one, so this is a silver staghorn fern, platycerium vite sheet. And this one, I was told, is I looked it up, it's like lemona, whatever. It's also called the French staghorn fern. So let me get these two gorgines out of the way, and I'll be back. Okay, so the supplies that we're gonna need today are a piece of cork. I might have to cut this a little bit. I'm not sure about the shape, because obviously it's not gonna sit upright unless well, I might just have to put this in like a flower pot or something, because I love how this looks, but I'll consider that in a moment. And then I have some nails, and now with the nails, I wasn't sure. They're made of zinc, and I know that zinc kind of kills moss. Like if you have zinc on your roof, that will prevent moss and algae. But it seems fine with that guy over there. So maybe I'll forego multiple needles, but we'll see. Or, oh my god, nails, not needles. This little hammer for the nails. Of course, some sphagnum moss, and then what I did for the Platycerium bifurcatum is I also mixed in some orchid bark, because I guess staghorn ferns are like epiphytes. Would they be considered epiphytes? I don't know. But I don't know, just for like some extra nutrients. See, I think oh, what if it's like this? It looks like a shoe, the old lady who lived in a shoe. Wait, that's kind of cool. First thing we're gonna do is stuff this. Thanksgiving's on the way, let's get to stuffing. So I'm gonna just, whatever, we don't care about a mess here. Cool, I don't know, I'm just feeling it out, kind of. So there's that. I know a lot of people do this with the moss already wet. I'm not gonna do that, but I'm gonna soak this entire thing for a good while after. So actually, let me get my soaking bowl ready so I can dechlorinate the water and let it sort of get to room temperature. Isn't this bowl cool? I got it at Burlington, and now I don't have to use our kitchen supplies for my plants. The water is in here. I'm just gonna put in like 2 drops of this dechlorinator that I use for my fish. Perfect. I also grabbed, which I just realized I can use, my favorite Target purchase ever, which is this great little case of pumpkin carving stuff. So I'm just gonna take one of these pumpkin carving knives and put some notches in the cork so I can feed the string through like floss, as opposed to using the nails, because now I'm second guessing the nails. And yes, I probably should have done this before I stuffed it with supplies, but whatever. This is just really old hemp cord. For those, I used some of that like, I forgot what it's called. It's like fishing line basically, but I don't know how to tie it. I was not a Boy Scout. I went to literally one Boy Scout meeting when I was in 2nd grade, and they had us make paper airplanes, and I was just not about it. So, never learned how to tie my knots, but I think this is fine. And I know it will, this will degrade over time, which doesn't bother me. I love that idea. And also, the fern is gonna anchor itself to the cork anyways. So it doesn't bother me. I just found a hole in the cork. Perfect. Because I'm gonna thread it through the outside. See this? Look at that. See, I love working with like It's natural materials because there's always something random, something unexpected, something organic. Now we have this like random spider web moments. I'm gonna start threading some moss just through the cord because we want to hide the string, but also the entire point of this is to keep the moisture in for a long time. Because I don't water my staghorn ferns that often. This is gonna sound dumb, but because I don't know anything, I wasn't sure how to tell if they needed water or not. So this leaf was really drooping the other day, so I was like, oh, is it dying or does it just need to be watered? So I set it in that bowl and I took pictures, and after a couple hours the leaf had perked up again. So I was like, oh, okay, if the leaves are drooping, obviously that means it needs water. But I really only water these guys, like I soak them in that bowl for a while. Like an hour, sometimes more. Like I soaked the bifurcatum my entire 8-hour shift at work the other day because he looked sad. So I'll soak them every 3 weeks, every 6 weeks. Like I really haven't soaked them that often, and I've had them for a couple months. Every few days, just to be safe, I'll take my little mister bottle that I use for my gecko and I will mist. I'll mist the moss. Same with those air plants. I only soak them every couple weeks, but I mist them a couple times a week. So this opening isn't very big, but I think we can do it. When I did this with the bigger ferns, I was shocked to discover how difficult it is to actually get the plant and the soil out of the pot and detach them and do all that. So it may take a minute and it's gonna be messy. All right, so, okay, well that was really fast. Maybe I lied. Okay, I literally, God, I can't. Maybe because those ones were in the pot for much longer than this one, just based on age and size. All right, wait, let me show you something cool. So when I bought my first one a couple months ago, I didn't really know all too much about it, so I didn't want these big flat leaves because I thought that was a bad thing. So this is called the shield frond. These aren't leaves, I should be saying fronds. Anyway, so this is the shield frond. This protects the bottom of the plant and it keeps moisture in. So if you're gonna buy a staghorn fern, oh, it's my rabbit. You want one that has well-developed shield fronds. And I don't know if this was here when I first bought it because it's been about a month since I bought this one, but there's this cute little shield frond. And then these are the other fronds, I forget what they're called, but basically they're the ones that will put off spores so the plants can reproduce. So I'm not gonna strip all of the soil because like, there's no point. And I watched a video on YouTube recently. Oh, there's an ant in here. Hi. It's a big ant though. Sorry to kick you out. This one's pretty. Wait, this is literally, is this a velvet ant? Is that what this is called? Maybe I shouldn't go picking up an ant. I don't know how well you guys can see it, but literally the base of this ant, or the, what is that, the thorax? You have the head, abdomen, and thorax? No, that's the abdomen, right at the back, whatever. It literally looks like my tiger's eye bracelet. It's super cool. Okay, so back to the fern. Now that enough of this is off, so I'm just gonna play around with getting this in here in a safe way. Okay, but there's a lot of empty space down here, so I'm just gonna fill it up a little bit with some more of whatever's over here. Oh, I don't think I ever finished my story. So anyways, these ferns, I didn't realize how massive they can get. They're literally like 12 feet tall. I'm like, I don't know if this little cork is gonna support a 12-foot tall fern. But okay, so this is firmly and snugly in here. I'm gonna add some more sphagnum moss around the edges, and then I'm gonna do another little webbing with the string just to keep everything in place. Shoot, I hurt the shield frond, sorry about that. Ugh, I lost my scissor. Okay, so that's now tied and secured. So let me just try and add some more sphagnum. Okay, so here's the old lady who lived in a shoe. The moss is a little messy. I guess I can tidy that up after I water it. Should I just like Gigi Gorgeous this and frickin' punt it? No, I'm not gonna do that. Very tempted to though. Oh, the exterminator just stopped by and I kindly let them know that no, thank you. We don't need chemicals sprayed. I found a box. I'm gonna do that. We're gonna soak this. I'm gonna pour some water on the top. And then that's it. Let's pray for this little fern and hopefully she will grow up nice and big, not 15 feet big, but you know, a decent size. And with that said, thank you for spending your time viewing my pixels.